I know you're a big Kiss fan, right?
Ugh.
No?
To be honest, I've besides the hits, I've never really tried to give them a try.
Name me more than two hits from Kiss.
I can't. I can't.
Exactly.
That's what it's like.
Exactly.
I've never given it the
So
time.
the revenance to this fucking band has always astonished me. I don't get it. I don't like Kiss.
I mean, it's an
I
age
don't.
thing though, right? And it's a time
Probably.
period thing.
I guess. I guess, but I don't get it. I was thinking today, man. I told
You
you
don't get what you don't get the music or you don't get all of it.
I don't get the love of it. I think it's fine. Yeah, fine. They're a band. I fucking I I don't get it. I don't think they rule. I don't think they're awesome. I don't think they have good songs.
Okay.
I don't get it. It's not for me. I don't and the whole spectacle of it and the marketing of it, pass. Don't care. And it was funny, I was thinking about that because that's why I thought about this. So I heard about this story, but then I told you a couple weeks ago, like I think classic rock has been ruined for me. Like I just can't stand it. And I think my gym is ruining it for me. Every time I go in the locker room at my gym, middle of the day, there's a new song that I've grown to hate. Like today it was an Aerosmith song. And I'm just in there getting changed and I'm like, this song sucks. I don't like this shit. I
Why
don't
would it
know.
be
It
any
just
different if you heard it on the
it
radio versus hearing it in the locker room?
I don't know. It annoys me. It's like not what I want to
Okay.
hear at that moment, I guess. So it's like making it word like two like bands that I've just like, okay, I'm done. Like I don't like them. Rush, Cheap Trick, Tom Petty, and well, Neil Young's always been that way. I think Neil Young sucks. Aerosmith has become one of them. Like I hear an old Aerosmith, like I'm not talking like Living on the Edge or Loving an Elevator. I'm talking like before that. I hear that and I go, turn it off. I don't care. Just turn it off. It's not good. It's fucking repetitive. Steven Tyler's voice is the same register throughout the entire song. Turn it off. It's monotone nonsense to me.
Okay.
Classic rock has been ruined for me. I don't know what happened. I mean, I did tell you, like, when I was a kid, I'd be like, what did I think of the Steppenwolf? Great. Born to be Wild. Cool. I don't care. The song sucks. Can you play some?
But what about Journey?
I will never disrespect Journey. You'll never hear me disrespect Journey. Journey rules, and I don't consider them on the same level as the things I am talking about right now.
Okay.
But I get it. They are they're with they're within that. But they're catchy, dude. They're right. Hits, dude.
Well,
Hits.
yeah, of course.
So yeah, classic rock has been ruined for me, and Kiss is one of those bands where I'm like, I don't care. Never cared. But so Gene Simmons felt like he always does, felt like he had to comment on hip hop and comment on hip hop being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the reason that I
Before
think
you
this
say
is
uh,
go ahead. Go
before
ahead.
you say anything, can I just say that there is no one else in the history of ever that I could care less about hearing about hip hop from than Gene Simmons.
Well, how about just anything? Unless he's talking about a Kiss
Okay.
coffin,
All
who
right.
gives a fuck? And I don't even give a fuck about that. But how just yeah, anything. He's a
Yeah. Okay.
turd. But he does this every few years. Like for some reason he's always in the news like every couple of years talking and it's always about hip hop and like younger generational stuff. And so, I the reason I think this story is relevant is because look, as time goes on, more and more hip hop artists are going to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's just gonna happen.
Mhm.
And this year there are quite a few getting in, and I guess he felt like he had to comment on it. And there are parts of me that goes, look, an old rock guy like that, when he says so, there are a couple of ways he could go about this, and I feel like there's an honest approach that's strictly musical, right? You don't talk about the cultural aspect of the music. You don't talk about who makes the music. You just simply talk about, all right, we're talking about concrete terms, rock and roll versus hip hop. You could make an argument. You could as to who should be and who shouldn't be in there. Now, I've said long ago, I think when we first talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on the show. It's like call it the Music Hall of Fame. Let everyone in that you think should be
Yeah, I
in.
was gonna say we
You know,
literally talk about this every year. I think
but
when the
we
Hall of
have
Fame
to
inductions
because
come
dude,
around,
we
and
but we have to because dude, music's evolving, and as artists get older and become eligible, they're not going to be just rock and roll.
I don't
And
know if we talked about this before, and I don't we don't have to get too sidetracked on this, but I can't remember if we have talked about this before when we've discussed this topic. But have we talked about age or like the qualifications to get in on like because it has to be a certain amount of years after,
yeah, we've looked it up, and
right?
I don't want to do it again. It's a certain amount of years. It's like however many years since your last release or something like that.
But do you remember what was our final determination? Did we think that the years needed to be decreased to where we didn't have
No.
so many people going in that had passed away?
Well,
I mean,
that's
because
their
doesn't
problem.
this
That's not
suck?
our problem. I mean, yeah, yeah. Well, it was like
It's
2 years
their
ago,
problem.
the Motown band that got in. I was like, why isn't every Motown band in the rock? They should all be in there. Why are we still putting them in there in the 2020s? Just they should already have all been there, you know?
Yeah.
Like the level of influence that specific sound had on music in all of the bands. I don't care. Like, just put them all in. It owns a time period, and without
Hmm.
that time period, without all of those bands, there are many things today that don't likely exist. So just put them in.
Right. I would say I think
But
we need to decrease the years just because there are so many artists and bands that go in after, there's one person left in the band that's alive.
well, yeah, that's their problem. They should have been, it was,
That is the worst. That is the
it's not.
worst reply I've heard on that before.
No, it's the best one. It
I've
was
heard
their
this
we didn't
conversation
do
by a
it.
lot
They
of
did it.
people. And this is the first time I've heard, well, that's their fault for dying.
No, 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 not the person dying. I'm saying the Rock Hall.
Oh,
It's their
okay.
problem. Not no 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 no. Jesus Christ. How morbid do you think I'm being right now?
I don't know.
2026 nominees: The Black Crowes, Mariah Carey, Jeff Buckley, Phil Collins, Lauryn Hill, INXS, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden. Which again, why isn't Iron Maiden? Come on.
That's crazy, right?
Joy Division, Oasis, New Edition, Pink, Shakira, Luther
What,
Vandross,
really?
and Wu Tang. So obviously, this is a pretty. I mean, you got one, two. There's only two hip hop artists on this list. Iron Maiden
Lauryn
should
Hill
be
should have
in.
already been in.
Well, I don't know about that. Let's calm down.
Really?
I'm
I
not
know
saying she can't
everybody.
get in, but I'm saying should have already been in. I don't know about that.
I know everybody loves Jeff Buckley, but as
Yeah,
far
not
as
for me.
I mean hits go and stuff, do you really think? Because didn't he have like one hit
I have no idea.
that wasn't that long before he drowned?
His music bores the shit out of
Does
me.
it?
I have no idea. It's so
So what do
boring.
you what did Melissa Etheridge sing?
Come to my window. No,
Okay.
no,
All right.
no,
All right.
no, no, no,
Billy
no,
Idol, that's kind of
no.
wild that he's not in already.
He definitely should be in.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm saying of this
Oasis?
list, yeah, I don't care.
Oh
Sure,
shit,
they can
Luther
get in.
Vandross?
That's what I said. Yeah. So I would say of this list, who should get in? Phil
Wu-Tang.
Collins for sure. Billy Idol for sure. Iron Maiden for
Wu-Tang.
sure. Yeah, I would. But let's go back to Gene Simmons before we get off the rails here. So Gene Simmons comments: The Kiss frontman tried to make a case for excluding certain artists from rock's biggest honor during a podcast interview with legends and leaders. In quotes, the fact that, for instance, Iron Maiden is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they can sell out stadiums and Grandmaster Flash is, right? Ice Cube and I have had a back and forth about this. He's a bright guy and I respect what he's done. It's not my music. I don't come from the ghetto. It doesn't speak my language. See now, right there. He's already lost
Yep.
his argument because
But he's
hip
also an
hop
old
isn't
man.
just, but it also doesn't just come from the ghetto.
Oh, I know
Bitch, you
that.
have Google. Like, fucking do a little bit of research. And it's
Yeah.
not just for people in the ghetto. It didn't just start in the ghetto. So, like, that comment right there, he's capitulated. He no longer has a point. Forget about it. But he does say something else that I find interesting. And I felt like it could have been argued better. And I said in print many times, hip hop does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, nor does opera, symphonies, orchestras. How come the New York Philharmonic doesn't get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But Ice Cube shot back and said, no, it's the spirit of rock and roll. Okay, fine. So Ice Cube and Grandmaster Flash and all these guys are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just want to know when Led Zeppelin is going to be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Oh, you can't do that? Oh, really? Music has labels because it describes an approach. Hip hop and rap is spoken word art. There are some melodies, but by and large, it's a verbal thing. It just doesn't speak to me, he concluded. The genius of being able to put music in words and arrange it is much more complex. So let me tell you this. The Led Zeppelin argument in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because never once were they a hip hop group or band. Now, what if he had made the same argument and said, I don't know, Kid Rock, who got his start in hip hop, transitioned to rock, transitioned to country, built a huge career, sold countless millions of records. That argument holds a
Yeah.
little bit more weight. It's a stupid argument because, like, oh, why can't white people be in the hip hop Hall of Fame? It's like, no, 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 dude, you're missing the point. But Kid Rock would have made more sense in that argument than Led Zeppelin. Why wouldn't Led Zeppelin make the Hip Hop Hall of Fame? Because they weren't hip hop. And they never their sound was never inspired by hip hop versus an Outcast who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, very much a rock and roll influence there versus an NWA, very much a rock and roll influence there. Listen to all the fucking beats Dre made. Where do you think he got those samples from?
Yeah.
So he just doesn't know anything. He's just a fucking old, fucking bitter dumbass. And
Yeah, he's old and he's set in his ways in his thinking, and that's never gonna change. And he knows that he's getting clicks by making statements like that.
but
So
set in his ways is a weird way of describing that because I feel like, dude, you're in one of the biggest bands of all time. You can't do a little bit of research to know where this stuff comes from and the influences behind it and why it's considered influential and what influenced it. Like, I just think it's lazy.
I mean it is, but I guarantee I mean there's a lot more people other than just Gene Simmons making
Well, I
this argument.
know, but he's a dickbag and I don't like him. So we're talking about him. So, would you like a kiss coffin? No, I don't. I don't want one of those. Stop selling me things. Go fucking record an infomercial, you fucking old piece of shit. Would you like a Kiss soap dispenser? No, don't want that either. Don't need it. Again, I think it's an interesting and relevant conversation because, again, year to year, there are going to be more hip hop artists that become eligible and ultimately that are going to get in. And, I remember the arguments to get out, the arguments last year against Outkast. It was like, okay, whoever's arguing against this, I dare you to go back and listen to Aquemini, listen to AT Aliens, listen to Southern Playalistic, listen to any of those albums and tell me, Stankonia, and tell me there's not a rock and roll. Forget about influence. There's not rock and roll on those albums. You know, it's
What
heavy rock
about
and roll.
what about other bands? You mentioned Kid Rock, which I mean I guess you could consider him a band if you wanted to, but like are there any other bands that you can think of, rock bands that can think of that could be inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame?
Well, I said him specifically because he started in the hip hop scene in Detroit. In Detroit,
I
that's
get
why I
that.
hate
I
him
get
so
that.
much now. He's such a fucking poser, and that's how he got his
Yeah.
start. Same as Fred
I
Durst. Fred Durst wanted to be a hip hop artist.
and I get that. I'm just trying to think of, he made the Led
I could
Zeppelin
name you
argument, but
bands, dude, but I don't know that they would ever want me to name them being deserving of being in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. I don't know that they care. And I know they wouldn't
Could
argue
could
it. You know what I mean?
could bands such as like a Linkin Park
Sure, why not? But I
be
wouldn't
considered
say
hip
they
hop Hall of
should
Fame, you
be
think?
there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they
Okay.
belong there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only one that belongs, and they were a band to start, are the Beastie Boys.
I was just gonna mention the Beast
They're the
Boys,
only
but they
ones
can
that
go in either,
belong.
right? But they can go
Huh?
in either, right? They can go in either,
Oh,
right?
well, they're already in the Rock Hall of Fame, right?
Are they? I don't know.
Pretty sure. But yes, if you ask me, should the Beastie Boys be in the Hip Hop Hall of Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, without a doubt.
What about Cypress Hill?
Yeah, well, that's hip hop.
But could they be in either, or just hip
A
hop?
1000%. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that they'll
I'm
get in the
asking.
Rock. I don't
I'm
know if they'll
asking
get in the
opinions.
Rock
I don't know.
Hall, but yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. All right, I'll name you another one. Everlast. Definitely
Ooh,
won't
good
make the
one.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I could argue that he could be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Being a white
Yeah, I
rapper,
could.
one of the first, and having one of the biggest, most influential white hip hop songs of all time that nobody really considers corny like Vanilla Ice. Yeah, I could argue that.
That's a good one.
I think again, call it the Music Hall of Fame, but you know Chuck D commented on Chuck D, a Public Enemy, commented on Gene Simmons' statement about this, and he very eloquently explained why hip hop should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it was beautifully done, and he talked about the elements of rock and roll and the influence of rock and roll. He's like, you have the rock and then you have the roll. The roll is where all these other sounds come in: R&B, soul, gospel, hip hop, like, and it made so much sense to me hearing him talk about that. And I'm not one of these guys that's like, I'm not going to argue where rock and roll came from, who started it. I don't give a fuck. I like all of this music. So again, put it all in. You know what I mean? Like I'm
I
not
mean,
one of those guys that's gonna argue about the
I will,
origins of rock and roll or like any of this stuff. I don't care.
I will say this: we have this argument every year about should it just be a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Should it be a Music Hall of Fame or whatever? But in for me, making it the Music Hall of Fame, if that's what it's called or whatever,
Yeah,
does make it feel less valuable.
I agree. I agree with that. I
But then again, the other side of that does it make it feel less valuable that you have bands that most people don't consider rock and roll in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't know.
but I'm also looking
I
at
think it
this
depends on the person.
realistically. Like we can look at like nominees, say like Lauryn Hill. To say that there's not rock and roll inspired sounds in her albums is asinine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, she's spoken word, hip hop rapping over a lot of her music. She's also a phenomenal singer,
Yep.
and a lot of those vocals go over rock influenced or rock infused sounds. So to say that she doesn't belong is ridiculous. To say that Outkast doesn't belong is ridiculous. Like the Roots, for instance. Who could argue that they don't belong in any Hall of Fame? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a hip hop band, not only the best, but the most influential and the most original hip hop band at a time, and they came out at a time where no one was rapping in front of a band. It was just tracks. It was
Right.
just production. They're like, no, we're gonna flip it. We got a band, and we're gonna rule. You know, it's all gonna be orchestrated by this one guy, and we're gonna have this one MC who's so dope. We're gonna flip the entire industry on its head. Like, how would you not? How do they not get in? You know,
Yep.
I just think like the term rock and roll, people think like electric guitars, and it all has to be this like in your face sort of thing. And it's like I get that, and I get the simplicity of that, and I'm with that. I understand that, but it goes deeper than that. You gotta, and it doesn't take much to understand that. Just do a little bit of research, like, and that's the other thing too. I think it's a lot of ignorance on Gene Simmons' part, and anybody else that argues these types of anybody that has these types of arguments. It's like, well, have you actually listened to some of this stuff? Or you just lump all hip hop into one group. It's like, yeah, I heard fuck the police and I consider every other hip hop song to be fuck the police. Which by the way, fuck the police's beat, rock influenced. you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
So fight the power. We'll be talking about it again next year because I'm sure some other dickhead will come out and make comments about it. And like I said, year to
It'll
year,
probably
there
be
are
Gene
only going to
Simmons
be
again.
more. It'll be him again. He usually takes like 1 to 2 years off and then resurfaces. He's done this before. It's not the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, he would do better in these arguments if he didn't say things like, "Well, it's from the ghetto. I'm not from the ghetto. I don't understand it."
Yeah. That
And
was a
then he's
pretty
like,
dumb take.
"Well, unintelligent. It's uninformed. It's kind of racist." I think at the end
I
of the
was,
day,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it's definitely got some racial undertones for
yeah,
sure.
it's like, what are you talking about? And also, he's Jewish. His grandparents came from the biggest ghetto in the history of ghettos. They were literally in a concentration camp. Maybe his parents, not even his grandparents. I think it was his parents. How old is he? He's probably like 70 years. Yeah, his parents were in concentration camps. So, like, what are you talking about the ghetto for? You should never say disparaging things about ghettos ever. You were
All right,
bloomed and
let's
created from the ghetto.
let's get into some new music before that conversation goes off into something else.
That's real shit, though, man. Anyway, it's new music of the week. First, we're gonna do Goalkeeper because
There it is, goalkeeper. Pass the blame. I got it.
pass the blame. Here we go. Ooh, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Love these guys
You're
already.
welcome. You're welcome.
Love it, love it, love it.
I made it out alive, but my soul got
Ooh,
left behind. Will I
sound like
ever feel
Pennywise.
connection or slowly die inside? You always pass the blame for almost damn near everything. So paper thin, the lies you told, your argument is filled with holes. Every waking day, I can feel the way you made me change. Now nothing more than a project that you shattered on the floor. Pick me up, put me back together. I know where you go when you want it. You're always running away from the pain, 'cause you're flooded at the end of the day.
It sounded like Pennywise. Now it's a little more pop punky. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
Pretty cool. Also, some of the shots of him in the video, it looks like he's not playing an instrument, and then they cut to the next clip or scene, and he has an instrument. It's throwing me off big time. Anyway,
You say that you got it, but I know that is a lie. I don't want it, you don't want it, so let go. I don't want it, you don't want it, so let go. I don't want it, you don't want it, so let go.
I can appreciate a guy who doesn't have like a super high voice. It's like a manly sort of.
This is a
Actually
manly
like.
dude, right?
Well, you took it the wrong way, but I'm just saying, it's refreshing sometimes to have this type of music and a guy that doesn't sing so fucking high. It's like I can't sing along to this, which is probably how most people feel with a lot of artists.
I've given up. I know that's fucked up. My skin and bones will never be enough. A pattern I can't break, obsession I can't shake. I'm not okay. I just wanna say that I know where you go when you want it. You're always running away from the pain, 'cause you're flooded. At the end of the day, you'll say that you got it, but I know that is a lie. I don't want it, you don't want it, so let go. I don't want it, you don't want it, so let go. I don't want it, you don't want it.
I'd like to see them live. I bet that'd be pretty fun.
Oh, for sure. I'm still trying to think about how I feel about the name goalkeeper. There's a part of me that loves it, and there's a part of me that's like, I shouldn't love it. Shouldn't love that name.
Just because you don't really know why.
Keeper. Oh, it's probably a good name. It's like Knuckle Puck as a band name. It's like, I want to hate it, but I don't.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about goalkeeper. I'm like, it's fine. This is
Okay.
the Amity affliction. It's called House of Cards.
Okay.
Sister, I never saw you get your flowers. Living out in the cold and you were hanging by a thread. For all these years, left blood, left sweat, left dread, left tears, and voice.
See how well that blends? Feels
That's
good.
way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
We can always see into the stars, but we can't see the hurt inside our hearts. Everything that glitters isn't gold. I'm sick of always sleeping in the freezing cold. Brother, your heart was torn out by your mother. Dear Lord, he's sick of living between the sword and the wall. For all these years, left blood, left sweat, left dread, left tears, and voices dead, like it. They paint a picture of a disaster inside me. Disaster inside me.
Part rules.
I was gonna say the guy that is doing the vocals does not look like he should be a member of that band.
You're very judgmental.
Well, I mean, compared to the other guys in the band,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you asked him, hey, what band are you in? He says, oh, the Amity Affliction. Most people would be like, get the fuck out of here. No way.
Yeah.
You look like Ned Flanders.
I'm pretty sure the Screamer's significantly younger than me too. And I'm feeling good about myself right now.
Is he really?
Oh, he's gotta be. Yeah, I think he's probably 5 years younger than me, man.
No
There's no way
way
he's my age. Based, well, he might be. Well, I'll look it up.
Hang on,
But
wait a
anyway,
second. Hang on, wait. You said the Screamer?
yeah, this guy right here on
The guy I'm
screen.
looking at right now.
Yeah.
You're saying he's 5 years younger than you?
He's younger than me. There's no way he's my age.
No way.
I'll look it up, but I don't think so.
I don't.
Well, look, I could be wrong, but I don't know.
We can always see into the stars, but we can't see the hurt inside our hearts. Everything that glitters isn't gold. I'm sick of always sleeping in.
They've had such a rotating cast other than the Screamer, I want to say. So a lot of the pieces, like especially the singers, and so you're going to hear a lot of different singing from album to album. Do you want to see that COVID thing real quick, and then we can get out of here? And it might have been like, I don't think it was the heart of COVID, but I think still like masks need to be worn. And well, look how it's like there's no one there.
Yeah.
This song rules though. God, look at how different he looks. Have you heard this song before?
Tim?
Yeah, that's the Screamer.
I don't know.
When the tree
like that guy.
So dies the dream. Turn me inside out. Soak me in bleach. Soak me in bleach.
That's the same dude.
Same guy.
Running, sick. When the trigger dies, so dies the chain. Turn me inside out, so deep in bleach. Soak me in bleach. I'm buried alive, my belly's bleed. Cover my body, so deep in bleach. Soak me in bleach. Feels like I'm stranded.
Looks like Maynard.
A little bit, yeah.
Feels like I'm bleeding. Don't know what to do with all of these feelings. So when the trigger dies, so dies the chain. Turn me inside out, so deep bleach. So bleach.
And I didn't know till like probably this past year that they were Australian. I thought they were American.
Oh, really? I didn't know that either.
And I just linked it to a song title that they had on one of the albums. They have a song called Pittsburgh. And I just always assumed, yeah, they're from Pittsburgh. Nope, Australia. I'm an idiot.
I guess I just always thought this was one of those bands where there for a time period it seemed like everybody had their shirt. It was like a Hot Topic shirt.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I always lumped it into that, but I never I don't for some reason I guess that never made me think that they were from outside the US.
It's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm buried alive, my belly's bleed. Cover my body, so deep bleach. So in bleach.
We'll say I like the other guy's voice better, the clean vocal guy.
I like them both for different reasons, man. You got to hear this like on the album. And that's like, again, that's the interesting thing, because when I heard that new stuff, I go, that's clearly not the same guy. There's no way. But I like them both for different reasons. There's a different tone, different thing going on with the voices. I would say the new guy's more emo. This guy's a little, kind of has his own thing. It's very strange, but I like both. But he looks like a combination of Maynard and MC Search in this pause,
I wonder
this freeze frame.
The clean vocals guy, I wonder where he ended up, since he's apparently not in the band anymore.
We could Google that, but let's not.
Do you think that's a Bring Me the Horizon tattoo there on his hand? That umbrella?
The umbrella? It could be.
When the trigger dies, so dies the chain. Turn me inside out, so deep bleach. So bleach. I'm buried alive, my belly's bleed. Cover my body, so deep bleach. So
What a weird fucking time this was, man.
It was so weird.
We're going to look back on this and just be like, what the fuck happened? I can't believe we did this. And it was necessary. I'm not people.
Yeah.
It was necessary. I'm just saying. It was just a weird fucking time.
Oh, that's cool. Is the Screamer doing that?
No. That's the track, dog. Come on, dude.
Oh, it's a track.
You've been going to shows long enough. You should know that stuff.
Well, the only
Thing.
reason I was asking because he was up at the mic at the same time, so
Well,
it
he was
sounded
screaming.
like
You just couldn't hear it that well.
okay, all right. Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff I really enjoy, especially like in the gym. I could listen to that a song like that all day long. I like screamo. I do. I just don't like it when that's the entire song, and when
They would probably be upset
I
that he called them screamo. I'm just going to point that out. But
sorry, you know what I mean though. But
I do. You mean
I
all
just
screaming?
my thing is if I have to put in a ton of effort to understand what all the words are that you're saying in the song, it doesn't matter to
You
me.
sound like such an old man.
I don't care.
I don't
I
understand the
don't.
words. I can't hear.
Listen,
What
I've been
is he
saying that since I
saying?
was young. I've been saying that since I was young. I've
So
always
you've been an old
enjoyed
spirit since you
music.
were 8.
Yes. Yes,
Somehow you like
absolutely.
Eminem, who
I can
rhymes
understand what he's
orange and
saying.
lorange.
Well, it
I'll never
rhymes.
understand you. No, it doesn't. Orange is not a word.
Still rhymes, don't matter.
And sign doesn't rhyme with time.
It's
I'll
close.
point that out. It's not. It's not. It's not.
Did
at all.
you do you remember do you remember that old Greg Giraldo bit when he's talking about shit, who is he talking about? But he's talking about throat and child support and it rhyming. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I'm a big Greg Giraldo fan. I don't know if I know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Can you Google
What?
Can you Google this real quick or YouTube this real quick?
Yeah,
The Cross the River. Just put in Greg Giraldo throat child support and see what it brings up. Good day to cross the river.
My favorite story from the last year was that guy Brian Nichols who was on trial for rape. Instead of going to trial, he stole a gun from a court officer, pistol whipped a bunch of people, murdered a couple people. Then he holds this woman hostage in her apartment for 7 hours. She makes him breakfast, and he let her go. Now, I don't want to sound sexist, but there is a lesson there. You know? It may not kill you girls to learn your way around the kitchen. You know? A nice fluffy stack of flapjacks turned that murdering rapist into John Mayer, for Christ's sake. Imagine what a nice omelet might do for that fella. I'm not misogynist at all, but rappers, those guys are misogynist, man. They get away with some shit. Little John's got a song on his last album where he goes, "No more dick for your pussy, just dick to your throat. You ain't gonna get no child support." Not that that's a bad approach to life necessarily. But I don't want kids growing up hearing that message. I don't want kids thinking that throat and support rhyme. Yeah. It's not right. Shit, it's just getting old just sucks. I can't watch MTV. I feel like I'm 150 years old. Shows like MTV Cribs. That's a great show, isn't it? It's a great show to watch an 18-year-old rapper show off his 40-room mansion, you know, with waterfalls and media rooms and movie theaters, you know. I'm twice his age. I'm sitting on my bed/sofa. Oh, look at that. Boy, what a nice crib. This house has 18 bathrooms. They're all made of imported Italian marble from a 14th century Franciscan monastery. Meanwhile, I'm pissing in the sink because my crazy wife has locked herself in our one bathroom and she won't come out till I admit that I have a drinking problem. Well, it's gonna be a long wait, my love, so hang in there. When you get out, you might want to watch a little MTV Cribs because I noticed Ludacris's bitches weren't busting his balls about what he does to unwind.
Dude, he's a fucking legend.
Oh my God.
For you.